wonder who did it. It's like right there.
Rain, and then we were like hugging for a long time, and then we kind of like let go, and I was like, are we gonna kiss?
Well, it's your turn. No, I'm a little crazy. The wash is shaved. It's okay. Hello friends, welcome to another reading vlog. This will be a short one because I still haven't finished my Sluts reading vlog. We're going to be reading 3 short pink books today. As if 3 short pink books for the next couple of days. Today is my free day, Monday, so I've done laundry and we had a cute little fika outside, played Yahtzee, ate a bunch of leftovers from yesterday, and yeah, they're all queer in some way. This one, I think I'm going to start with it. It's so short. It's called You Can Vibe on My Fem Phone by Kamala Puligandla. How would you say that?
Kamala Puligandla.
Puligandla. I found this, I think, on Goodreads at some point, and then I sort of forgot about it. But it's so cool. It's this tiny book. I think it's lino printed, maybe. Lino printed. Rizzo printed. There we go. So I'm going to start with this one. Reading it. I'll show you more of it when I start it. And then I'm going to read this one. I believe this is a short horror. It's blurred by Eric LaRocca. It's The Only Safe Place Left is the Dark. And then The Lead by Chris Bergeron. And this one, I remember hearing some great things about it, but the main intriguing part is the dystopian autofiction bit. Because how autofiction that's dystopian, I don't hear that a lot. They look really good together. Let's start reading it. This one, lovely title, amazing title.
There was a puddle here that was just floating.
Oh.
Which means I had to do a bunch of things to make it work, but it's gone now.
That's good. Enjoying their free time. Just finished their exam this morning. It's 6:30 in the evening. Okay. This is what the book looks like. Oh my god. Huge text. Rizzo printed. Maybe. It looks like it may just... Isn't that just so nice? No clue what it's about, or if it's fiction, or non-fiction, or anything at all. Very cool. Let's read. So I read about like 35 pages now. And you're following this person called Veronica, who describes themselves as a faggy ass femme dyke. They're really opposed to this new phone that's come out called a femme phone. That's essentially a phone that's made for femmes in a way, and you can send like vibes through the phone and unnameable, unimaginable, emotionally intelligent things through the phone and ways of communicating that's not male-centric or featuring the needs of men in general, which is a really interesting concept. And when you start up the phone, it asks you all these like personal questions about who you are as a person, what your political beliefs are as, and your love languages and all these things, and your phone goes off of that and also puts up like boundaries for you if a person is texting you. It's a really fun technology, but Veronica's really opposed to getting one because she's not like really with it, but she has these 2 friends, Phoebe and Remy, who are like obsessed with their femme phones and says this like revolutionary way of communicating through technology. And she falls in love or gets interested in this woman that she's dating, who has a femme phone. And she's like, well, I gotta get myself a femme phone so that we can connect properly. And so she's gotten now herself a femme phone, and it's sort of about, I guess, also like her relationship with her 2 best friends, this new person that she's dating called Josephine, and it's a lot of fun. It's really like a book that's for the queers, and it has a lot of like tidbits and information that's just really fun to read about. There's not like an immediate hook that makes me want to keep reading, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So already 1/3 into the book. It's super short, but the risographics and stuff is really adding to the vibe. Really, really cool publication so far by Co-Conspirator Press. Excited to keep reading. Okay, it's the next morning. I read like half the book yesterday. I'm gonna finish it this morning, I think, but there's a lot happening at the pond today. And had this is opening because I had to pick up my passport. It was a huge ordeal, but anyways, my passport is picked up. The whole design is different, which is fun, even though it's a stupid passport. I just saw the biggest bumblebee and I was trying to get it on camera. It was like this big, which I feel like bumblebees have been getting smaller over the years, and I was really excited. Traffic. Okay. Hello.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, was that a yawn?
I think so. It's like, oh, look at that.
So, I finished this one. It's literally so short, less than 100 pages and huge text. I'm so obsessed with it. I had to put it in plastic because it's such a, the cover is so thin, it's just like papery. And I'm like, I want to keep this and reread it and preserve it forever. It is such a joyful story. It's like really embedded with queer joy, black joy. All the characters are people of color and super queer different ways. It's as much about like our main character Veronica as it is about Phoebe, her bisexual best friend who's so chaotic. And like just her plans and what she's doing is so fun to read about, as well as her gay best friend who just swears off men forever, and his storyline is like also so good. Swears off cis men forever. And all these like three people, like the way they interact, like all the characters are just so good, and just like the reflection of like what if technology was made for us and for our both like to help us like truly humans in the thinking process and to grow as humans, how to put up boundaries and reflect on ourselves. Like this phone has reminders for like, you know, you haven't texted this person in a while, like, but you've been thinking about them, or you're not having like boundaries in this situation, or are you sure you want to send that picture? And you're growing with your phone. And it's such a weird like take on technology, but in like the most wholesome way. And I feel like there's so much to this, and it's so short. I'm like, how did the author do this? I really loved it, but I think if I were to give it one critique, it's that it's really scaled down. Like the author has really cut off like all the fat in the story, and it's just like the meat left. I hated that metaphor I just did, but it's very like only the essential things for the story are in it, and which means that you always have to be paying attention or you can miss like major plot lines. But it doesn't really bother me or matter because it is such a short book. But yeah, this is super cute. I got it through like the Pond because we've been ordering from Public Knowledge Books, which is a distributor of like a lot of magazines and scenes and such. But you can also just order it directly from Public Knowledge Books if you're a person. They're located in the UK somewhere, maybe London, so you can also just visit their physical store. But yeah, this is so nice. I loved it a lot. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Yay! I was gonna film so much today. I'm like unboxing the books, like doing stuff here, like making drinks, but you know, today was so freaking busy. Usually Tuesdays are just like a breeze. No one's here for like hours, and then a couple people come in the evening, but today was busy and I was not like prepared for it. So I didn't film much because I was doing stuff all the time. But it's very exciting. And then I'm gonna start reading one of these. So the question is, which one do I read? I truly actually have no idea what either of these books are about. I might be making a mistake here, but I'm gonna go read this one next. How many pages are you? 235. What language is this translated from? Because this is translated by Natalia Hero. French? Maybe? Sounds French. Valide. Valide. Le la vie. I'm just making up stuff now. I don't know. Sounds French, but I'm not sure. Oh, I see. It's a Canadian press, so it's probably written in like Canadian French. I don't know if there's any difference with the written language, but that would be my assumption. Okay, I'll read this next. We're gonna do it. Now, closing at the pond is the most annoying, tiresome thing ever because it takes forever. Also, I'm slow. There's so many parts to it. I've never worked at a cafe, and I have newfound respect for people who close at a cafe every day because here we are and I'm tired. Yep. But I'm gonna pop in a podcast, not sure which one, and we're gonna go home. Heather's gonna make dinner, which is nice. And I forgot to film yesterday. We started watching Adolescence, so we're gonna watch episode 2 of Adolescence. Very intense evening. So I started Valide yesterday. It's the next day, and I'm actually sewing a little bit today. I'm getting like half a day off, but it is because I really need to fix up these like cushion covers that are gonna be at the pond. This is like a old IKEA, huge cushion covers that my mom got way back in the day. So they're like vintage IKEA. They're so pretty, honestly. And she didn't want them anymore, but I grew up with them and I wanted to preserve them. They're so nice. So we're gonna have them at the pond, but we have gotten like different sized pillows for it, so I'm just fixing it up. I've been meaning to do this like since way before we opened the pond. So this is great that I finally get to do it. I also need to sew some like smaller curtains. We'll see how like far I get through today. I also got a call from the vet. Ben is not doing very well. Like his back, Ben the bunny, is not doing very well. He has like arthritis in his hips, and his like butt and legs are kind of dragging behind him a little bit, but it's not as bad as it should be from just looking at the x-rays. But I got a call today that he also has this parasite that Olaf used to have that attacks your nerve system. So in a way, it's like a blessing that I was home today so I could actually go and pick up the medicine for that. But yeah, valid. Wow. I was like immediately pulled into the story. I was so tired yesterday, and I still ended up reading like 30 pages, which is a lot when I'm tired. I'm a slow reader. But it is written like a memoir, so I understand now why it's sort of like dystopian or dystopian autofiction. You're following this man in 2044. I said man. You're following this person in 2044 who is then 70 years old and kind of like grew up in late 70s, 80s, and the 90s and stuff. And in 2044, the world has kind of been started to be run by this artificial intelligence called David. And David has sort of segregated most people into like the 5% and the 95%. The 95% are being like surveilled and are controlled by the state, and they have personal access to David. And there's a lot of things that are like not prohibited, and it's very strict, very dystopian, like truly, but with an AI take on it, which is so timely. I actually don't know when Ballad was posted. My brain is rotted when Valid was published. But it just feels like very timely. We know that our main character, Christian, has some sort of plan to either like disembowel, it doesn't make any sense, to stop David from continuing to exist and run the world, sort of. But its book is written as if Christian is confessing and telling like their life story to this AI. It's really good because it starts off in like our time with things we know, and like, you know, in the 80s, and them growing up, like Christian growing up, and like their childhood and their parents and grandparents and their history. It's written so well, and it is written like as if it's a conversation between Christian and David, and David is somehow disconnected from the mother load, and so David the AI can't report anything that Christian says at the moment. So it's like it's leading up to something, like what has Christian done and what is their plan with like taking down David or this system or something. Because so far we just know that Christian is like confessing their life story, telling their life story to David. So it feels very intimate, and it is sort of written like a memoir in a way, but in this like dystopian setting. It's really cool, and the writing is really good, and I'm so into it so far. So really excited about Valid. It feels very unique. I'm gonna keep sewing. Chatting for too long. I should probably call my mom, and I should definitely get to the pond as soon as possible. This is just the first one, so I was gonna do 3. We'll see. I finished the pillowcases. Time to head to the pond. It's way too late. Oh my god, it's almost 2:30. So, do some shopping, get paint, get to the pond, eat lunch. So, I'm tired. Went a bunch of shopping, brought the pillows to the pond. Look how pretty they are. And in here as well. And then, tiny one. There. And we kind of reorganized this room a little bit. So, big table, small chair, big chair, little couch, little chair, and now like the craft stuff is here, which changes our plans a little bit, but I think it's gonna be really, really nice in the end. The room is still coming together. So yeah, I was just sewing today. Fixing some stuff and things that we need, like extra paint for the shelf with like the Danish books. And then I also made this curtain. I'll show you. It says crafts, and it'll go in like in front of here, eventually in front of the craft. I think it's gonna be nice, but who knows if the letter's gonna be legible once it's up. I'm really tired, so I'm really excited to go home. It feels weird because I came here for 2 hours and now we're leaving soon, you know? But really important things got done, which is amazing. Goodbye, home.
There is nothing you can do, I guess.
Good morning. How did you sleep? Okay. I woke up a couple of times. I'm tired. pump.
Survivor.
Here I am trying to film do a little voiceover for this reel, and Olaf has decided to dig up the entire box. So nice outside now. Yeah. This is like... Do you remember there was a trend like this?
Yeah. You too.
Books, books, books.
They're always like, it's really heavy. I'm like, yeah. I can take it.
Wow, should I read this? Okay. That's so nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. It's the end of the day. All the books have been sorted. An artist came by to drop off a bunch of like really cute comic scenes. Just so nice. I've had so many lovely conversations today. Someone came in just to tell me that the book I recommended to them last time was so good. And I just like, those moments are so cool when people are like, that was a good book recommendation. Super nice. We got some new releases. And obviously, I was very excited about this. I haven't vibed with A Quick Misses like previous works, so I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But I guess I'll try it again. It's a different story than Pat. I've been reading slowly Invalid, and I am enjoying it, but it is getting like a little bit repetitive. It is not very much the same. It's just Christian telling the story of their life, her life, I would assume, to David, the AI. And we're just kind of making our way through her life. It's good, and the writing is really, really good, but it doesn't have many like dips and valleys, and I think I'm starting to like anticipate and look forward to the times when she's talking to David, which is like, it breaks it up, and it's all building this tension of like, well, what is it that Christian has planned for like destroying David or this AI or the AI dictatorship that's going on. So that's like the driving force that keeps you reading, because you want to know what happens. And obviously like we care about Christian's life, but much of it doesn't feel like, it's just interesting. It feels very memoir-y. I understand now it's like dystopia, not a fiction, but like what a choice to tell your story in this way. Very cool. The next couple of days, I'll probably not show so much of my actual life because I just want to get through this book, and it's gonna take a while because I'm a slow reader these days. But the books that are here are like Danish books that have not yet been put up on the shelves because I've been painting this that you saw the other day. It's finally painted. It is not a great paint job, but I'm gonna let it dry like a little bit for tomorrow and then put in the books tomorrow. I think that's the smarter choice here, even though I would love to pop them in. That window's still open. I've gotta close that. Yes, end of the day. This is making burritos. Very excited about that. I think maybe I'll catch up with you tomorrow when I have more to say about the book. So it's Sunday, it's the next day, and I've been filming this vlog for a week now tomorrow, and I have 100 pages left. This is all that I read. I go in waves of being a little bit tired of the structure of the writing, but also I'm enraptured by the book. Like, it's kind of just stream of consciousness because she's telling her story. Christelle, we learn her actual name. It's funny because as the reader, you're kind of going on the same journey as David, the algorithm, the AI, the dictator AI. You're viewing the story through the lens of the AI in a way. Sometimes I get like a tiny bit bored of hearing her talk about like certain aspects of her life, like growing up in France, moving to Canada, the dynamics between her parents, her family situation. Like, it gets a little bit grating sometimes, but then there's parts that are just like about like her reflections on the world and the things she experienced and her reflections on it. And the parts that I love the most are the ones where she's like talking directly to David. And I'm gonna read you quite a few parts because it's like, it just flows so nicely and shifts between like different themes and focuses. I'm not reading you my favorite passage in this book so far or something, but like just to get an idea of the writing. I also just want to say it's really, really fun because it takes place in like 2044 or something, 2045. A lot of Christelle's like childhood and growing up is like our current time, and it's such a close future that everything she's referencing and the things that are happening now is what leads up to her close future being like society being controlled by the algorithm. And so it's actually really fascinating, the timeline, and so much of it being based in reality. When they talked about people like me, they'd say they're women trapped in men's bodies, prisoners. Even today, 40 years after what will be called, much later, the gender revolution. Those who still have the courage to talk about our existence still describe us as prisoners of identity, as if fate, or perhaps genetics, had decided to incarcerate us, as if we were served an unknown sentence, cruel and without appeal. Next page. And now she's talking directly to David. Are you the herald of the end of the race against our bodies? We were afraid of our defects, of viruses, of nature. We needed barriers against our fears. You've built one more prison whose bars are stuck right up against our physical forms. Perhaps you were an inevitability, ineluctable, I don't know what that means, the ineluctable end of our trajectory. No one hoped for you. We all wanted what you offered us, a form of tranquility that has the semblance of peace of mind without any of its qualities. You exist to soothe our anxieties. Your existence depends on them, so you maintain them. When you promise to bring order to our lives, you imply that our unpredictable nature can only condemn us to chaos, that without you, our messy brains, our cacophonous desires, will make a mess of the world all over again, that this world be the worst possible fate. Like, I just feel like those reflections and talking directly to an AI, it's like you're talking about capitalism and technology and stuff that we already like experience and see now, but to the extreme. And I just feel like it's very well written, and so far I really like Christelle a lot. So I'm very excited to see what happens, you know? Like, what are you gonna do to this AI girl? So far, really loving it. Could absolutely be 5 stars, even though I have some qualms about it. There's no chapters in this book as well. So you just have to quit when you feel like quitting, you know? Or take a break when you feel like taking a break. Really good. Really good so far. I'm hoping maybe I can finish it tomorrow. That would be really, really fantastic. Tomorrow is my free day. I can take some time off and I'll maybe bring the last book for this vlog. My hair is a mess. I woke up this morning and it was just chaos. My hair is uncontrollable and like not in a good way. The pond is closed, so I'm gonna close up, listen to a podcast. What is this? Should not be drinking coffee at this hour. Super nice day at the pond. A lot of people drinking drinks, hanging out, spending their time here. It's super cute. It's the dream. Yeah, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yapping, yapping, yapping. Hello. I feel like you haven't seen this angle in such a long time. I still haven't finished this. Did I mention that I picked this bookmark by accident, even though this aesthetic is the part of this whole vlog idea? On page 173, and there's like 60 pages left. I really want to finish this today, so I'm going to make an effort to do that. But today is my free day, so I'm at home, and most of the morning I slept in. I slept in so long, which was super nice. I really needed that. But I also missed my appointment to get my testosterone shot, which like only happens every 3 months, and I'd already like picked it up at the pharmacy. I knew it was coming today and then I just forgot. So I'm gonna have to be stressing for the next 3 days how to get that to happen, but it's okay. I had this play Sims for half the day instead, which honestly really good for both of us to get some downtime. But I'm gonna do laundry today, I'm gonna change the bunny toilets, I'm gonna take out the trash, I'm gonna do bunny grooming, finish these pages, pay some bills, respond to some emails, and it's already like 4:30, I think. So a lot to catch up on. I'm also making dinner today because This is working. I'm gonna take a chill. I just finished, this is so irrelevant, but I just finished the audiobook for Model Home by River Solomon, and I really loved it. But I guess that's for the wrap up. I have another audiobook that I have as a NetGalley arc, the Lilac People, I believe, Lilac People. So maybe I'll listen to that, maybe I'll watch some YouTube videos, podcasts. I'm gonna have like a fun cleaning time today. That's what I've decided. I'm probably not gonna film much of it though. TBH. Completely forgot that I picked up the camera to talk about this book. I'm really loving it. I'm feeling a 5-star coming on, which would mean 2 out of 3 5-stars in this video so far, and we haven't even read the last book. There was a section yesterday about like where Christelle like discovers ballroom, and there's like several pages about ballroom, which obviously I just loved as someone who's been part of that community, and I feel like I'm getting an inkling of where the book is going, and I'm still just really excited. Like, I just feel like this is an excellent book so far. Great translation, really excited to finish it. I haven't had a lot of 5-stars this year, so this is what I need, and I'm super hyped about it. Good morning-ish. It's the next day. I've been doing a bunch of like admin today because This is at the pond, woohoo, which means I get a free day. So I've been working from the bed. I actually made myself a nice breakfast. And yeah, I have like the prologue left of this book. I didn't want to finish it yesterday. I think what's really interesting is that everything is so fleshed out and more personal in the book leading up to like the year that the book was written. So everything that's based on like the author's life is a lot more like real, personal, and then from 2025 or something onwards, I feel like the book becomes more about like the dystopian element and the resolution of the book, which is like completely fine. I think the author's done like a really, really excellent job with this. It does get a little bit more like rebellion, dystopian at the end. I'm very excited to finish it. I disagree with a lot of like the author's standpoints and like views, not like necessarily not full explanation or reflection around like the author's privilege, even though the author, the character, same person, I guess, privilege in the life they've lived, but it is also about that in a way. And so even though I disagree with things and the book has flaws, like all around this was just like an excellent read, and I'm probably gonna give it 5 stars. Like, it was just like so unique and I loved it, and leans into my likes of unconventional like memoirs, which is really cool. I think there's a few mentions of like Qigong and alternative medicine that is portrayed as like a new age trend and never really recognized as like coming from the culture that it does, and those things are never like addressed. Like, there's a few tidbits of like it's very clear the author is who she is, you know, but I love it for all its flaws. So I'm gonna finish this today, but I just wanted to give like a basic review because I think my feelings are not going to change, and this is basically the review. So I'm gonna jump into this after I finish the epilogue, of course, and then some folding of laundry. And then I'm going to jump into this. This is only like 80 pages, so it's going to be so fast. It's a queer horror blurred by Eric LaRocca. Are you going to focus? Not today. So I was hoping I'd finish this today, but we'll see. I'm not sure about that. It's a new day. I'm at the pond. We got a bunch of new books that I'm sorting into the system. I did get like halfway through this yesterday, like 40 pages out of 80 or something. chapter 8, and it was like, this is like a page turner. I mean, it's 80 pages. It's like really packing in everything there. I had no clue what it was about before I picked it up. It's a zombie book. It's kind of like in the late 90s. There was this virus that turned everyone into zombies, classical, but the difference is that people keep their mind still, and so their body is rotting. They're attacking people like in as if they have like rabies or something, but their mind is still like there and can feel everything, even though their bodies are being like eaten by maggots and are killing people. So they're like screaming like, I'm sorry, you know, like when they're attacking someone, which is so terrifying. I've never read such a terrifying prompt for like a zombie book. Yikes. And you're following this one character who has HIV and who's now lived off the grid. It survived in a cabin for 30 years, and that's where it starts off. It hits off with like loads of action, trouble, and I don't really want to tell you more because it is such a short book, but it like weaves in a lot of like things about the HIV crisis into this sort of dystopian, futuristic novel about zombies. But yeah, I'm very into it so far. I think I'm probably just gonna finish it on the job today if I find some time while I sort these books. A lot of new releases. Very exciting to see what comes out every day. Are we having fika?
We're having pika. Look at this one.
Wow.
I'll squeeze out all the cream. Yeah.
So, it's been a week. Where have I been? I've been too busy to film. Jesus Christ, keeping up a vlog in this economy. I finished it. I mean, it's just 80 pages. I enjoyed this. I don't actually remember right now what I gave it. I gave it this many stars, maybe like 3.75 or something. It was a really good, nice, like, novella. I think, like, it was well constructed. It's just so action-packed that there's, like, no room to think too much. It's just there for the journey. I will say, like, it gets rather dark. Not only, like, just the premise of the story, but just the way things unfold are actually a lot more tragic than I feel like the book is presenting it to be. Because Eric LaRocca blurbed it saying, a gruesome blood-soaked celebration of queerness. And while, like, yeah, it is in a way a celebration of queerness and some select few queer people surviving, it's not thriving. It's not saying queer people you get to thrive, you know? And it's just, like, really sad in so many ways. But it doesn't, like, feel sad about reading it, you know? So I had a really good time with it. We went on, like, both an action-packed journey, but also an arc with the main character that I quite enjoyed, except this one. I've given, like, all of the zombie books that I've read recently, like, 5 stars, which is really fun. Maybe I should be reading more queer zombie books. But so maybe I'll get into that in the future. I'm still, like, planning my second vampire vlog, but they were progressively got more black in the covers. And that was that for this vlog. It's just reading these 3 books. I had so much fun with it. I haven't had a 5-star in such a long time. Like, I've really been struggling. And to get 2 5 stars after each other was absolutely wild. Highly recommend both of these books. Excellent. And it's also just, like, fun to read books that are so queer. Like, it's all about the queerness is such a big focus of it. I think all of these have queer joy in some ways. And I enjoyed all the topics that were discussed here. Great books, actually. I can recommend all of these. Okay, that's it for this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna close the pond now. I'm a little bit loopy after all of today. Wishing you all an amazing, brilliant day. Let me know your thoughts on these if you read them. And I'll talk with all you soon. Goodbye.